Yes, things are changing. Getting all these things out. It looks kind of bald and weird now. I stepped on my sprinkler too, and I think I broke it. But yeah, I'll get one more pick of cucumbers for sure. There's lots left. Lots in here. Look, there's one right there. There's one right there. There's one right there. There's probably more. And one more pick of tomatoes probably too. There we go. Focused. And I've got my berry bushes ready. There's 2 blueberries, raspberry, and a blackberry. All 4 jammed in there. Just gotta dig some holes and get to it. Every fucking time with these guys, every single time I try and do stuff, well, that's the raspberry, that's the blackberry, and these are the blueberry. Go away. Oh god, that sun is a little bit bright. And I'm gonna move this bar to here, and then that means this thing still has a couple feet. There. Let's do a little retrospective. So berry bushes are still looking pretty good. It's probably 3 weeks after the last section of the video, and I learned probably the most this year rather than last year's about doing stuff. So next year, the whole garden's gonna be carpeted with this weed cover, and I'm just gonna poke holes just like that. Gonna definitely get bigger trellises for the tomatoes. I am gonna do all of my herbs in smaller buckets or something and keep them like up on the deck, so that way they're easier to manage, because stuff like this basil and that dill and this rosemary, which is still down there, is out of control. I know that I need lots of room for these creepy ones, so need to space those out better. And this whole back section I'm gonna make use of again next spring and knock this barrier back probably like 5 feet or something, so that it lines up with this. I guess that's like, yeah, probably 5 feet, 4 or 5 feet. So yeah, this was the first time I did this without the help of my roommate. So it was very scaled back, especially from the first year. And didn't have like irrigation, I just had the sprinkler. So that's another thing I might think of in the spring. But yeah, it's a hell of a lot of work, but it's pretty fun. Oh yeah, and I still need to get garlic in. Okay, there might still be one more little bit when I put the garlic in a few days. You little shits, get ripe. There's a few that got ripe, but those aren't ripe yet. Anyway, I was just gonna do a little retrospective on the garden this year. So I was gone for a few weeks, so I picked all the tomatoes I could because I knew it was gonna get cold, and everything is pretty much dead now. The only thing I'm happy is still good are the berry bushes. So they're all still just fine. They're going a little, you know, bed and whatnot. I guess I could probably help this guy out too. And the blueberries, this one's still got lots of leaves. This one's lost all its leaves, so I hope it's still fine. And here's what's left of these They all froze though, so they're dead. So next year's garden is probably going to be smaller. Like, I'm gonna bring this in, and I'm going to plant like the rows this way instead of this way, or at least see how that goes. I'm also probably gonna grab some of these planters and start setting up herbs on the deck instead of down here, because they got out of control down here. Actually, the rosemary might, I don't know if they can survive a frost. It looks like they are just fine. So I could probably still steal some rosemary out of there. But things like basil and dill get out of control. Well, even that rosemary plant's out of control. Look how big it is. It's kind of cool, actually. So I've got a whole list, and maybe I'll show that list next. I also might as well show this since it's pretty cool. So my roommates milled up a bunch of wood over the last while, and had like a little bench. They had a chainsaw mill, so they cut up a whole bunch of wood, like thousands of dollars worth. Those are too big to even be milled, so yeah, I'll show you all the wood too. So we're in the basement, and this is, I think, 6 or 8 slabs of cherry wood. Look how huge it is too. They're 1.5 inch thick slabs. I believe most of the rest is maple. So that guy, and then over here there's an enormous stack, which is like, you know, a 4 foot high stack. Oh, that light came on. And some more over here. So yeah, thousands of dollars of wood for sure. Alright, so here's a little rundown of what I think I'm gonna still try and do. So today's October 30th, so we're getting pretty close to the cutoff. I still haven't planted garlic, so I'll still try it. It might be too late, but I'll give it a try. Herbs, so these are herbs, whatever. These are the ones I'm gonna try and put into pots. And some of them I'm not sure. Like, I've never even tried mace, so who knows, right? But I do want to. I haven't tried mustard seed. Probably tried mustard seed in recipes and stuff, but I've never like had it, owned it. So we'll see how that goes. Same with tarragon. But lots of these, like some high priority ones, are obviously parsley, basil, dill. Probably, I'll see how ginger works. I don't actually know. That's not really a herb. It's more of a root. Anyway, and oregano is a good one. Sage and thyme would be good. The greens, so I want to cut back on greens and just maybe only have like 2 of each kind of thing. So, or you know, you plant it with little seeds, so I kind of just sprinkle them in, but like only go a few inches. And probably the lettuces are I'll try to do a cabbage, maybe a red cabbage would be nice. And I don't know about stuff like the red lettuce is kind of meh. And I do want to try kale as well. And then for the rest, we have, so I didn't do beets, carrots, parsnips, radish. I didn't do squashes this year either. Or, no, yeah, I didn't. So I want to do a few of these, like each. The ones I really missed this year were beets. So, yeah, that's the plan. So that's, and I don't know how it's going to be laid out. Maybe I'll figure that out. Oh, come on. There we go. So I might do something like this, and so here's the berry bushes, and then the garage is like right here. That's the fence. So I might put root vegetables at the back, and I may actually bump all this stuff down and then have 2 things of root vegetables. Well, we'll see though, because it'll be like beets, onions, carrots. There's a lot. Potatoes. The sprawling plants will probably be next. Those are like the squashes, the cucumbers, the peas, beans. So maybe those will be more like in the middle, and then we'll do 2 things of root vegetables. I don't know how much space I have, so I'll have to figure it out in the spring. Then here, or possibly here, tomatoes and the hardier greens. So I'm thinking like the kale might be more hardy, and maybe like bok choy, so if I grow that, or chard. We'll see how that goes. And at the very bottom, or the very front, I guess, because like the yard is down here, would be the leafier greens like the lettuce and the spinach, stuff like that. And if I do plant some garlic, I might just try and put it like, I think the place that gets the most sun is sort of like here. So I might even put garlic right in the middle and then have greens like either side. Just because that area I can sort of still prep in the next day or two. And we'll see how that goes.